Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Adam and Steve, not
Adam and Eve,
the podcast where we bite the apple. Well, hello, you garden hose. We are back. I just love that name.
I know, me too.
That is what we call our followers, just in case you didn't know that, or you were just joining us for the first time. You are now a garden hoe. Think about the name. It works. It works.
It does. Don't question it.
Yeah. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing good. I've been pretty busy lately.
Doing what? You swear you're busy?
I'm busy. I'm between two cities. I'm all over the place now. You know.
Swear you that girl?
Shut the fuck up. No, okay. But I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine in this holiday season. I guess it's officially the holiday season. I mean, I went to the Grove the other day, which is a Southside mall, and it was like 90 degrees, but the really, really large Christmas tree and the Santa Claus was up. So
some fake snow.
Yeah, so I guess it's officially holiday season, LA time. Well, anyways, before we jump into it, we have a special guest. You want to introduce him?
Dude, DJ Musculoca.
Yay.
Hello.
Whoop, whoop. Say hi to the garden hose and tell us a few blurbs about yourself.
Hi, hose. It's garden
hose. You got to be correct.
They might get offended.
Right.
Hello to all the garden hose. I am DJ Musculoca, a.k.a. John. And you asked me to do what?
Just say hi.
Yeah, hey, just say hey,
hello.
Say hi to the people. But we're going to get into more with you in a little bit.
Yeah,
we just wanted to introduce you to the people.
Yeah, I met Musculoca through my boyfriend Sergio at his birthday party, at Musculoca's birthday party, on this lovely sunset party boat cruise off of the marina. And he also DJ'd and provided that treat to us, which was amazing as well. And I got to meet this kind soul.
I wasn't there.
I didn't know you yet, Steve. I didn't know Adam yet either.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't there.
You did not. But yeah, it was a really, really awesome night, and I really enjoyed your music.
Thank you very much. That was a massive undertaking on my part. I like to do something special for my birthday every year. It's a Leo's favorite day of the year. Mm-hmm. And I had been doing some smaller scale parties leading up to that year. It was this year. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I really want to pull out all the stops this time. And I was like, well, one thing that I have thought that the kind of party scene in LA doesn't take advantage of enough is the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It is.
And I had been on some really fun boat parties in other places, and I thought, I could do this. I can do this.
Maybe you should get that started in the summertime.
Just on the reg.
For like 2 or 3 months. Every Sunday or
it's
Saturday.
Up here. I'm tapping my head. It's up here.
I'm telling you.
It was really fun, though. You had like great people, great, friends, and obviously amazing music. So you put together a good party.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was actually a lot of fun for me to throw that party, even though it was the hardest part was kind of wrangling all the guests, because I was explicitly forbidden from selling tickets online. That was the order of the boat operator, because at that time in LA, things were kind of getting back to normal. I think it was June 15th, when we kind of opened up again.
Yeah.
And my birthday was August 1st. But I think they still just weren't quite comfortable with the idea of tickets being sold on Eventbrite or something like that.
Yeah.
So I personally invited lots of people and interacted via text with them to get all of the things organized. So that was the most work that I put into it. Actually finding the boat itself was a little easier than I anticipated. It took a little bit of internet searching, but I found a good place in Marina del Rey. They were super great to work with. They're called Fantasy Yachts, like SEA, Fantasy Yachts. They were great to work with.
I liked the staff and everything. It was really Fun.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
So somebody else's birthday comes up, you might have to do something like that.
I seriously, like, I was like thinking, I'm like, why have I not ever done this?
I know.
And probably because
I love
it's way too much fucking work.
Yeah. I mean, I love celebrating my birthday, so
Yeah.
I usually throw a party or of some sort.
Yeah,
You know?
it's usually themed.
Yeah, of course, because I like to force people to do things that they're like, oh, I'm not going to wear that. And then everybody ends up having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, what's going on with you guys right now? Like, what's happening in the neighborhood? What's current? What are you listening to? What are you watching?
I haven't really been watching a whole lot. I've been listening to the new Summer Walker album a lot.
Me too. It's so good.
Really good, like R&B. So
Yeah.
and Britney's freed.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's all that matters. We can all the world's problems are solved.
I know, exactly. Britney's free, folks. So you can. I mean, people were at the courthouse cheering, and I mean, I don't know, whatever. I mean, if that's your passion, I mean, some people felt very strongly about
long
that.
overdue.
Yeah, some people were really felt very strongly about this whole thing. So it's a good thing. Good thing for her. You know.
What about you? What's going on with you, Musculoca?
So right now with me, I feel like I've maybe fallen a little bit behind the times. I have had to catch up on a lot of work because I had a pretty serious illness in October and have not been going out as much as I used to. But that's been fine. I've been able to focus on myself, work on DJing. I just started music production classes last night. And so just kind of focusing on myself for a while. Probably next year I'll start getting back into the swing of things.
No, that's good. Because, you know, a very wise person said, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else?
Wise.
Very wise. Very wise. No, I mean, that's good because, you know, you got to take care of you first. And sounds like you've been doing some good stuff. The partying will always be there. And, you know, I decided that I'm going to read a book a month because I used to be like an avid reader and I've kind of fallen by the wayside of that. I mean, I'll probably do audiobooks.
You're not going to actually read.
Well, you know what I would prefer to read because I actually prefer like an actual physical book. But like I've had like eye issues in the past, and sometimes depending on the type, you see how big I have to make the type on my phone.
Yeah.
So
I
have to make the font.
No, every time I try to like show him a text message on my phone, I'm like, oh, I forgot mine's microscopic to you.
Oh, bless your heart.
I know. When anybody shows me their phone, they're like, here, read this. I'm like, can you
blow
blow that up, please? Like, I can't see it. But that's one of the things I want to do. I want to start getting back to like reading. I mean,
do you read?
I have read. I can't say I do it
once in my life.
I read once.
I can't say I do it regularly. There have been some books that I got interested in and was reading, nightly or almost nightly. There's a book that's on my shelf that I have started and have been meaning to keep going with and just never get to it. It's called The Artist's Way. Yeah. It was recommended by my brother as I think it was written many years ago, like 25 years ago, as kind of a guide for creative people to open themselves up and see how much can come out.
That's a good one to read.
So I would like to actually catch up on that over the holidays because I'll be home for a while and have some free time. And yeah.
Well, if you read in bed, you will never finish that book because you will fall asleep after like one page. No, really. Like when you read in bed, you always just pass out.
I can't.
Like,
I just don't really read. But I mean, if I did, I wouldn't do it in bed because I know I would fall asleep for sure.
Yeah, you would pass out. But you know what else? Like that, I just saw Adele had like a special. Where she was at the Griffith Park. I mean, the observatory. It was beautiful, by the way. But like,
I haven't watched it yet.
You should, and it did very well. She did a couple of new songs, but I'm like, Adele releases an album. It's like a national holiday these days. So.
I know, and
so
then
it comes out next week, I think.
You'll definitely hear about it,
right? So we'll have that on repeat.
For sure, I'm sure.
But you should do some mixes, some remixes with the songs that are going to come out. Cause
some Adele.
Yeah, I love Adele. I love her lyrics. I love when it comes to music, all I really care about is, does it give me a feeling, like a good feeling? Can I connect with the feeling of this song?
Yeah.
And Adele's songs are just so full of feeling.
Oh, yeah.
She can write a hell of a song.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
can.
she's going through some things,
Yeah.
so she can. You know, it was funny because like the concert that was on, it was partly like her, you know, singing, and then like they would kind of piece in the middle of it with an interview with Oprah. And at the end, Oprah asked her, she's like, you know, now that you seem to be like on this path of, you know, figuring yourself out and happiness, are you still going to be able to write these songs? Like,
Now that you're a happy
right,
bitch.
you know, it's like
Can you
Mary
write
J.
sad
Blige,
songs
right?
still?
It's seriously like when Mary J. Blige is going through, you get amazing songs. So,
Well, don't you think that as you get older and you reflect on things that you've gone through in the past, you have a new perspective, or they come to mean something different for you? So I think she'll have plenty of things to
yeah,
pull from.
no, but it's just when you're in pain and you're writing that stuff down.
It's just so much more deep.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, I'm excited for that album to come out.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned RuPaul, one thing that I have been watching, since I haven't necessarily watched a lot of TV in the past few years, but one thing I have been watching, and my roommate can attest to this, is that I've been slowly rewatching all the old seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
And part of the reason is that I saw the first 2 seasons when they came out, and I really liked it. But then I moved and didn't have TV, and didn't have cable, and I kind of just fell off the wagon. And
right.
I was never terribly motivated to keep up with it. I felt like I was always behind. And
Yeah.
now they're on Paramount Plus.
Yep.
So I've been slowly rewatching all the old seasons, and let me tell you, like, it has really given me a newfound appreciation for not only drag, but all kind of artistic endeavor, because there's so much soul searching that happens on the show that I think maybe I'm more perceptive of as a person in his mid-30s. And it's fun to watch the queens grow over the course of the season, and
especially when they come back on and stuff for other season, like
Yeah, you definitely
like All Stars and
and listen to the critiques that the judges give and think about, I understand why they're saying that now.
The beginning seasons, the Interior Illusions Lounge was off the chains. It was popping. Like the Interior Illusions Lounge was it. They don't really do it now, but
And let me tell you, I always wanted an absolute cocktail when they would mention that.
or that Hamburger Mary's glass that they had.
I was like, every time they mention that, I want a cocktail right now.
bitch, I always want a cocktail.
RuPaul's Drag Race it's a pretty awesome show. It's, it's fun. I got Adam into it during COVID, and he actually started watching it. He'd never watched it before. But you know what, I've watched every season, but I'm not one of those persons that can remember everybody from the past and what season they were on and what they did and when they got kicked off.
Some people are really good at remembering.
Yeah, and I went to Gym Bar one time, and they had like a night. It was a drag race night, and you had a team, and it was kind of like it was like a trivia night. My team came in last. Like we were dead last. They actually gave us drinks because we were last. They would show something on a screen, who wore this, or who said this, or what season was this queen kicked off, or who lip synced to this, and I just could not I just didn't have that ability to remember any of that.
I think that would be hard for me too, because I'm not necessarily filing away the scoreboard of the season.
People do, though.
Well, that's fine, but
they weren't on my team.
I'm there for the journeys and the fun and
the growth.
the growth.
Yeah.
So I just finished season 9, and I had those feelings that there was a lot of talk online that Shea Coulee got robbed.
Oh,
that season. And I remember thinking when she lost that lip sync, I was like, I don't feel the way I think I should feel for the person who won, which was Sasha Velour.
I had my own thoughts about that season, but go on.
And so that got me thinking, like, oh, why did this happen? What is RuPaul doing? But now I can kind of relate, if I can finally relate what people are talking about, even though that was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of those, like, when you watch a season and somebody basically dominates the whole season, but then it just comes down to a lip sync and somebody had like the lip sync of their life and then they won. I think people start to feel certain kinds of ways. You get some people that are like, oh, great. And some people like, eh. So you just start to wonder, like, what if I was on the show and I won every fucking challenge, but then I failed at the lip sync? Then it's kind of like, then that just didn't matter. I mean, you know what I mean? So I feel like you had two camps in that. And that's been the case in a few of the finales, I feel like. Whatever side you fall on, But at the end of the day, they all benefit from being on the show. Shay came back and did her thing. And, Sasha was great. And, they all go on the show and you can ask for a higher appearance fee. So it works out to your favor. I mean, look at what's her name that got kicked off the first time, and what was her name? And she said,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember, oh God, what's her name? She was so funny. Okay, I think I remember her name. It's Miss Vanjie. Vanjie. Anyways.
See, I would have never guessed.
Well,
I'm terrible with those names.
Yeah, it took
terrible
a
with
minute.
names in general, so.
Me too.
And I didn't follow RuPaul enough.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm the worst.
I know.
And I haven't gotten to that season yet.
Bad gays.
I know.
Anyways, well, let's get into the meat of this episode with our guests. Like,
Yeah.
let's go into your journey.
So, where are you originally from?
I am born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA.
Sure
Dang,
is.
I've never been.
You
I've
should.
never been in Nashville.
Nashville
Have you been in
has
Nashville? No.
Nope.
I've heard good things about it.
I have
a fun
too,
time.
actually.
Nashville has changed a lot since I was growing up there. I mean, when I was growing up there, it was a sleepy, like solidly mid-size, like almost run-of-the-mill, like American town. It was not a destination unless you were a big country music fan.
And I don't really like country music. Maybe that's why I never went.
Yeah, because it had like the Grand Ole Opry and all that kinds of.
Yeah. So people who are fans of country music would go there, but now I remember kind of like as I was finishing high school around 2005, 2006, is when the high rises started being built in downtown, and there started to be this buzz about, Nashville is a place to move, and I was like, people want to come here? I'm trying to get the hell out.
Yeah.
But Nashville is great. It's got a lot of fun places now. I highly recommend the Country Music Hall of Fame, even if you know nothing about country music. It is so interesting.
Yeah.
And just a great museum about something to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
They do a really good job of showing its history, and it's just it's a good place to visit.
Yeah.
I would go. I would go visit. I've heard good things. Plus, I would like to go to Dollywood, and that's in Tennessee, though, right?
That is in Tennessee, but it is not in Nashville.
But it's close, isn't it?
Define close.
I really don't know. But if I'm going to be in that area, then I want to go to Dollywood.
I would say it's at least a 3, maybe 4 hour drive.
Okay, that's not that. Well, I don't know.
I mean, if we're there longer.
Oh, no, right.
You're in the general neck of the woods compared to Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is very true. When
we're at least we're in Tennessee.
Yeah. When did you move here?
So
What brought you here?
I came to LA in 2015 by way of Chicago, and I had spent about 8 or 9 years in Chicago. First, I went there for undergraduate, worked for a little bit, and then stayed for a graduate program in speech pathology, and was finishing my graduate program. And I think it was the winter of like 2013 into 2014 was just a crazy winter.
Oh, was that when we had the like crazy blizzard where cars got stuck on Lakeshore Drive?
It was not the blizzard year.
Oh.
It was crazier than that.
It was?
I remember the blizzard was 2011.
Oh, yeah, because I was still there. 2000, yeah, by then what you're talking about, I was already in LA.
But January of 2014, we had the polar vortex.
Yes, it got really, really cold.
And
I
it
remember
got
there.
so cold
Mm-hmm.
that Chicago Public Schools closed, Northwestern closed. And I was like,
It was
child.
like negative like 40 or 50 or something with wind chill, wasn't it?
Something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'm here to finish school, but by that time, a lot of the friends that I had made in college had moved on to other places. I didn't have any family in the area. And, I was enjoying living there, but I just thought, there's so much time in the year that goes by here where, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go outside.
People
It's just
hibernate.
it's just like a grind to get through the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm too, like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And I had started visiting a couple of friends who had moved out here to LA. And I just always had so much fun here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically got all my ducks in a row to move. I actually did my last quarter of graduate school out here. It was just a clinical rotation. And then once I finished school, I found a job, and then I was here.
In speech pathology?
That's right.
That's what you do? Okay.
Mhm.
And how do you like that?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
That's so interesting.
it's it's a great way for me to tie in things that I've been good at in school, like languages and communication.
Mm-hmm.
I surprised myself in graduate school. I thought going into my graduate program that I definitely did not want to work with kids.
Mm.
And definitely not in schools.
Yeah.
But once I did my clinical rotation in schools, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. And so that's what I do now. I work in the LA public schools. And
Look at you being brave.
And what exactly do you do in the schools?
so I am the one of the treating therapists at a school kind of over by USC. And I go there 1 day a week, and my other 4 days I do speech and language assessments for LAUSD students who attend what are called non-public schools. And these are nonprofit schools that are kind of like magnets for higher need special education students. A lot of them specialize in certain areas like autism or behavioral disturbances. But since those are still public school students, we still need to assess them by district personnel. So I go out to these schools that are in different places. I've kind of gone all over. I've had schools in Pasadena, Culver City, LA, and assess them. They're typically a little bit more challenging, but it's nice because I have a more flexible schedule. And one thing I really love about my job is that I get to be very autonomous. Nobody is breathing down my neck.
Yeah.
That's nice.
There's a lot of trust
Yeah.
that I'm doing what I need to do, because I am doing what I need to do.
I love when people have a do good job.
I
though.
know.
You
me
know what I
too.
mean?
It just
like when
warms.
you,
It's like a warm fuzzy.
when you're doing something good for the
Yeah, I
world.
know.
I really do.
Well,
I
and then
love
like
that.
on top of it, when you don't have someone breathing down your neck
Yeah.
and you're able to do that, that's also really cool. Because I do good, for the world with
You have
my
a do good
job, but it's very corporate structure, like and it's very people breathing down your neck all the time. So it does get frustrating. So that's good that you're able to do something that you love.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, absolutely.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think.
Congrats for that.
Oh, thank you.
So what like multiple languages?
I do. I learned French in high school
Ooh.
and did a year in France when I was in college. So I was a French minor in
Oh,
college
that's nice.
and a linguistics major. And then once I got to college, I started learning Spanish.
Adam knows Spanish fluently. He's fluent.
Muy bien.
I know like four words and I use them all the time. I was like, no, I speak
He's
fluent
sending me
Spanish.
Spanish songs. I'm like, you don't even know what this says. like, girl, why you
I'd be
sending me
dancing
this?
in my bedroom to some Spanish music. I just like it. I just like the music. It's fun.
So funny though. Like, what are they saying?
I don't know.
Hey, download Duolingo. I'm a big fan of
You
Duolingo.
know what? I said I was gonna do better in learning Spanish.
I told you I'll take it
know.
with you.
Yeah.
I took a lot,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
When you,
No, I honestly
this is
do
how we
recommend
do
Duolingo
this.
because, let's see, was it a couple years ago? I was planning to go to Brazil for New Year's, and I wanted to be able to know some Portuguese, at least I didn't know who was going to speak English or if they would know Spanish. I just didn't know. And I thought, well, let me try to learn a little bit so I can communicate on a very basic level if I'm in a pinch. And so I downloaded Duolingo, started doing the little lessons in Portuguese, and I learned something, and I was able to communicate with the people down there. And after I went, I spent 2 weeks in Brazil, and
what do you mean about communicate with? You mean communicate with the guys? Because I've been there.
I'm not at liberty to comment on that.
Right? I'm like, I've been to Rio, so I know what you like. And
But after I went to Brazil, I was like, oh, I want to come back here and I want to speak to people more. And so I kept doing it, and now I feel actually pretty confident going back. I'm going to go back this year for New Year's too, and I'm excited to see like what I can do, what I can't do.
I would love to go there for New Year's. Like when I went, it wasn't New Year's, but I would love simply to go to the parade with all the floats. Those floats are incredible, and like the dancers,
Carnival?
And the dancers and stuff. I just want to see that.
Yeah.
Like it just like I just go down the rabbit hole watching them on YouTube. Sometimes like I'll watch like all the different years. It's really amazing, and the costumes and the dancing, the people is just the culture. It's just really amazing. So.
That's why I listen to music that I don't understand, because it's more fun.
That is true, though. But anyways, I go down the rabbit holes all the time on YouTube, so
Yeah.
I'll be like, I just watch people climb Mount Everest, which I really have. But anyways, go on. So you're gonna go back to Brazil? Listen, they're tangents all the time, people. So
No, actually, knowing some languages has come in handy, even as a DJ too, because if I hear a song, I can, if I don't understand it when I'm listening to the song, I can go up and look up the lyrics and understand exactly what they're saying, and I feel like I have a better connection with the song after that. And sometimes there are times when I need to write to producers in other countries saying like, hey, I clicked on this download link, but it didn't work. And I can write to them in their language. I don't know. I feel like.
No, that's cool. I mean, as Americans, we don't tend to know as many languages in general as like somebody else. Like people from other countries will come and they'll know like 5 or 6 languages. I was literally having a conversation with somebody last night. My friend that lives in Paris, but he's Peruvian, and he says that he knows like 6 languages, and I'm just like, okay, it's just
so
us who are
wild.
like,
I know it's because we're lazy.
Yeah, no, it's just we know English and Pig Latin.
So that's bad.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, I actually was curious because I was like, when I have gone to other countries and I speak their language, one of the first questions I get is, why do you speak Spanish? Or, why do you speak French? And I always thought that was a strange question. Like, why are they asking me why? And so I looked up the percentage of Americans who can fluently speak another language that they learned as a teenager or an adult. It was not a language that they learned in the home. It's like 1%, literally 1%.
Well, because we all, I mean, I think most Americans expect that when you go places that everybody speaks English, or you expect people to speak English, right? Like, that's kind of the mindset I feel like that a lot of people have. Because, I mean, the reality is a lot of people do end up learning English. So I think it makes a lot of people in America lazy to learn other languages.
No, it's true.
You
It's
know?
true, because if we were to travel somewhere else and, people, they didn't understand English, we would be forced to learn that language,
It's true. But I've been encouraging people who follow me on social media to learn another language, because
it's always beneficial.
You can communicate with many people in English, but you won't really get to know somebody, or you certainly won't get to know as many people if you can't communicate in their language. And so, luckily for me, I seem to have a gift to learn languages fairly quickly. I pick up on the accents, and
that's what I'm bad at.
I'm very grateful
I sound so white if I speak another language.
And it's hard. It's harder
really
to grasp another language as you get older
Yeah.
too. It is. Your brain. It's harder for your brain to like grasp it as you get older. But it's also great when you try to learn other languages and you immerse yourself in the culture. Like whenever I went to Spain, it forced me to pull up like Spanish that I just was like, oh, I didn't even know that I knew that, or I remembered that word, or how to say that phrase, or like it just kind of forces you to like fend for yourself if you know things, which I loved. I was like, oh, I should be doing this more often.
You're right about it. It is harder to learn a language as an adult, especially as you get older. But I remember when I started learning Portuguese, this was about 2 years ago now, and it had been a while since I had like actually started to learn a language, because the last time was when I was about 19 when I started learning Spanish. And I just remember like my brain just kind of lit up. Like all these parts of my brain that I didn't normally use were just like, oh, I'm still here.
It can be done if you want to do it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like you have to have that one desire to do it. It can definitely be done. You can learn it at any language. You just got to want to do it.
Yeah, the motivation is definitely the biggest factor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So Adam,
Well,
we're going to take Spanish stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna take Spanish. At least we can do that.
At least we can do that. We will add it on to we bought a dry erase board, so we are making changes in our lives.
We're
writing
taking
things
notes.
down.
We're putting things down.
Right.
We're making a vision.
We're doing this. This is happening.
Yeah, speak it into existence.
We
I
are.
know.
It is true.
Very true.
So how did you get into music?
Yeah, DJing. What was your, I guess, journey into that?
Yeah, so music, how I got into music, music has really always been a part of my life. Both my parents have musical talent. My mom was a singer. It still is a singer for a long, long time.
Country music?
No, she sings. She sang in church.
Okay.
And she still sings in like a choral group.
Oh, that's cool.
And my dad was also a church musician. He played the organ and also the trumpet. And so it was just part of my life from the very beginning. And I started taking piano lessons when I was 6, and stuck with that until I do still play. I stuck with it until about age 21. I actually entered college as a double major with piano and French was my original
Always
majors.
wanted to learn to play piano.
But let me tell you, when I got to that music school and I saw how good these other kids were, I was like, I can't believe I even got in here, because they were so good. This is classical piano, by the way.
Yeah.
I took piano lessons when I was like young, and the teacher flipped out on me because I was doing a bad job and I was scarred for life. So I've never really tried again.
Knuckles were getting hit.
She was not happy with me that I was fucking up.
No, I mean, I was pretty good. I was pretty good in Nashville. You know, I won some competitions and whatnot. But then when I got to college, I was like, oh man, there's some legit like musical geniuses in here. And people who are so dedicated that they will spend the entire day in a practice room.
Yeah. College lights you up. That's when you run into the people where you realize that you were the big fish in the little place. And then you're like, I'm not the only one here. Like, yeah.
And I just wanted more out of my college experience than to be in a practice room all day. And I didn't really see myself becoming like a concert pianist or having a career playing the piano, even though I loved it and I still love it. You know, I just came to a point where I was like, you know, I've reached the end of the road. And so I left the music school and then did not really do much with music for a long time. And it wasn't until I think it was 2019. By that time I had become a full-on circuit queen. I would say for about 3 years.
What is that? Just kidding.
Oh man, for about 3 years,
Here in LA, like, were you?
So I went to parties here. I went to parties in other countries.
But you were based here in LA, though.
I was living in LA.
Okay.
But like when I went to my first one, it was the White Party in Palm Springs in 2016. I had so much fun.
Well, you started off with a real big one.
Yeah.
It was a big one. And when I got home, I sat on my couch and I cried.
What?
I was sad because I didn't think I would have that much fun ever again because it was so much fun. I was like, I didn't even know this was possible. Like, I'm
That sounds
sad
like some
that
people after the cruise.
I'm sad that this might not ever happen again.
Oh my God, that's really adorable.
And so I really kind of set out on a mission to go to, all these parties in far-flung places, and I really did the damn thing.
You
for
realized you could have that much fun still.
I did.
Yeah.
And so I went out there. I was going to this party and that party, and every week at Reload for a little while.
Oh
and
my God, you were hardcore.
I was doing it, and I got to a point where I had just finished a trip and was sitting in the airport. I had a long airport sit on a Monday after a party weekend.
Oof.
I've
been there, done that.
I was having a lot of feelings.
Okay.
Sure.
I figured that's where the crying was coming from.
And I remember thinking, like, why am I doing this? And the only reason I could think of was to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I can have fun in LA. Why do I have to travel all over the world and spend all this money? At that time, I was working sometimes 7 days a week to have extra money to travel and party. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing any more parties until I can figure out why I should keep going to them. And a few moments later, I kind of randomly flashed back to a conversation that a former boyfriend and I were having. We had just woken up and we were in bed and just talking about random stuff. And he goes, what would your DJ name be? And at the time I was like, what a ridiculous question. I would never be a DJ. And so in that moment I was like, why did I react that way? What would my DJ name be?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had already kind of adopted this moniker on my Instagram page of Musculoca. And I was like, what if I was DJ Musculoca? I was like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, this kind of sounds like a good idea. I have a background in music. A friend of mine named Mark Quinto, DJ Mark Coelho, had started learning how to DJ about a year prior to this moment that I'm talking about. And, he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why don't I just ask Mark how to do it?
Yeah. It's a mentor,
And so I got back to LA and I asked Mark, hey, would you show me how to use the DJ controller? And I went over to his place and he showed me how to do it. And I was like, oh, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
So it happened kind of very organically, and it was almost a surprise.
Yeah, all of a sudden you were DJing. You're like, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
You got in after you had to travel with records. So yeah. I remember when my old roommate would roll up with all his vinyl boxes and stuff.
Before, yeah.
Can you imagine? Before it was all digital.
Yes. No vinyl records for me right now.
So wait, where did the name Musculoca come from?
Okay, so I get this question a lot.
Because I thought it was your actual name for a minute when we first met, which is really
your heart.
embarrassing on my end. I'm sorry. But everybody called you that. So I didn't
No, it's all good. It's all
when we
good.
met, everybody, that's what they said.
So how I tell people now is that, because it honestly makes no rational sense why a white boy from Tennessee has this Spanish name that is very difficult to pronounce for some people.
I was gonna say that, but I was confused.
And so now I tell people that I didn't really choose the name. The name chose me because there's no reason that I should have thought of that. But honestly, the reason I chose that name, or the name chose me, is that I remember reading every now and then an article will come out online about circuit parties. And I remember sensing that there was kind of a divide in the gay community, that people who go to circuit parties are a certain type of people and they do things that we don't like, and so we don't like them.
I mean, that's still there.
I'm sure it is. And I remember reading one of these articles and reading the comments on the articles. That's always the best part.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a comment in Spanish that used that word. It was saying like, oh, all these musculocas, all they do is do drugs and, have sex on the dance floor. And I was like, I think they're talking about me.
You're like, well, I think I like that name.
And the name itself is a combination of two words in Spanish, musculoso, which is just an adjective that means muscular, and then loca is a slang term for a gay man. It literally means a crazy woman.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll hear gays in Spanish-speaking countries call each other loca as like a, just a, loca.
Mm-hmm.
Ay, esa loca. And so basically the combination of those two, and it refers to, muscular guys who aren't afraid to show their feminine side. And one of the things that I really appreciated from meeting the people who go to circuit parties and exploring that side of myself was uncovering my feminine side, which I had, long buried. There's a picture of me and my friend Zoe where I'd gone over to her house and we had played dress up, and there's a picture of me wearing a princess dress, and I had like taken a magic marker and like drawn all over my face as if it were like some kind of fun makeup. Mm-hmm. And that could have been the last moment that I allowed myself to enjoy my feminine side, because it was so, so disfavored in the environment that I grew up in, that I think I just buried it real deep. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I loved about going to circuit parties was the feeling that I could be free to be myself, express myself however I wanted, and enjoy my feminine side again. And so the idea of, a muscular guy who's not afraid to show their feminine side really resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this is me.
Yeah. No, that works. And it not only does it have meaning behind it for you, it also has a nice ring to it.
I know there's really no, I really thought like, okay, this is going to be hard for people to pronounce. They're not going to get it. Is there an English language equivalent? And, I've Muscle Queen doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah. It's just, it's so juicy to have one word that like says it all. Yeah. And it's so like, it's just juicy and fun. Yeah. It is a barrier though. A lot of people have told me this is a bad name. You should change it. It's offensive. Don't use it. People aren't going to get it. People can't pronounce it. And I'm just like, I can't think of a better name. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't know.
You just do what works, hiding in closet.
I know. I was gonna refer back to the drag race, and
still memorable.
Some names just roll off your tongue. Yep. I couldn't even say that. Tongue.
I can't use my real name. DJ John Lee.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go see DJ John Lee?
Right. Well, finding like that alias name is really hard. It was like trying to find a DJ name, a drag queen name. Like it's just like you got to put your, you know what I mean, your thought, and then whatever resonates with you is, and I don't know if that's.
I have no idea what mine would be. So
neither do I. Like no clue like, at all.
I thought about DJ Ridge My Way.
Right.
You know?
That actually might work, but I thought about this several times. I was like, what would my name be like if I did music or if I was like a drag queen? Like, what would I? Don't know.
It'll come to you. It'll come to you in a dream, maybe.
I don't know. I mean. Well, you have more of a chance of me being a DJ than the drag queen. That's for damn sure.
You'd be such a pretty
no, and it would be too much work and too much like money. I love male clothes too much, and then I would have to buy female clothes too, and it would just be too much. I can't even afford myself now. I don't know. But anyways, what kind of music do you... So like I know it's like dance music, but there's a lot of different types of dance music. Yeah. What do you prefer to play?
So I started out playing circuit music and circuit music only, and because that was kind of the style that forged this DJ thing.
Right.
And I still love playing circuit music. I still absolutely love playing circuit music. And as I have listened to more DJs and been to other types of events, I started playing house music in addition.
I love house music.
And I love spinning house music. I love disco, tech house, deep house. And so now I have this kind of bifurcated musical style where I play circuit music and then I also play house music, and very infrequently do the two kind of overlap in the same event.
They don't really.
It makes it hard for me to market myself to event producers out there, because if they go on my SoundCloud and they listen to one thing and it happens to be a house set, but they produce circuit events, they're going to think that I'm a house DJ.
That you don't fit.
So I have a lot of work on my end to actively reach out to these people and say, you know, here's the type of music that I can do for you. Versus a house event producer saying, here's the type of music that I can do for you. And friends have told me, like, girl, you got to just pick one. Pick one and stick with it.
It's great to be versatile, from what people say.
It is. It is. It's very enjoyable. I think I'm here for it. I think as long as you're able to market yourself well and like what you're saying and put yourself towards those specific genres, you know, I think.
But it's the marketing.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying. Like if they go on your SoundCloud and they hear a certain thing, they're going to just think, instead of taking the time to go through your stuff, they're just going to think based off that set that that's what you do. So I do get that.
So it's a challenge, but it's one that I'm willing to face because I don't want to give up something that brings me joy.
And you shouldn't.
And I personally believe that being versatile is a good thing. And
in every aspect of life, it really is. Not to be like immature, but you know.
Well, this is so interesting question for you. So as a DJ, when you go in your car and you drive, what kind of music do you naturally gravitate towards?
So I have maybe an unusual or perhaps atypical relationship with music. If I am listening to music and like I have decided that that is an activity that I'm going to do, that's a very like active activity for me. A lot of people are active. But it's really rare that I kind of just passively have music playing in the background.
Really?
Because I want to pay attention to the music. And I want to listen as closely as possible. And so if I'm doing something where I can't, either the music is going to distract me from what I'm doing, or I just can't focus on the two. It's like if I want to listen to music,
I've never heard that.
I need the space to actually focus on it. So there's only a few times where I'm really listening to music actively, and that's one when I'm driving. Because driving is now so
do you
automatic.
Like crash sometimes because
thankfully no.
I was listening to the music. Just kidding.
Driving is a time where I listen to music. I do not listen to music at the gym.
That's I don't know.
Well, what do you do? I cannot work out without music.
Me neither. I can hear too many other things going on around me.
I cannot concentrate.
I can't concentrate on lifting weights if I'm listening to music.
That is crazy. That's crazy to me.
But wait.
Like I can't. Like I mean,
you just blew Steven's mind.
It does, but I get distracted listening to music when I work out and when I drive because I want to choreograph. So like I used to teach dance. So like for me, I'm always thinking of what I can do with it. And it does get a little distracting. So I understand what you're saying to a degree. Like the other day when I text you and George and I was like, let's dance this weekend. It's literally because I choreographed a routine at the gym. While I was listening to some songs and I was like, we need to dance to this. But then Adam shot me down and said that he wasn't going to be here this weekend, so it's not happening. But
I'm sorry.
But I get what you're saying, like where it could be a little distracting, but I need to have it on all the time though. Even I'll take the distraction. But you not working out with music is crazy.
Well, the irony is that I know the people who listen to my music are often listening to it at the gym.
They're at the gym.
Yeah, because
they write me and they tell me that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I definitely think I've done that.
No, I need like complete and utter silence.
Well, you can't go to that when they open the John Reed Fitness here because there's a DJ up in that gym. So,
like, I don't know. She
right?
be doing leg and
Unless
arms
you're
at the
going to be
same
working
time.
there.
Now, if I go to the gym and they have music playing in the background, like the
they have
radio
DJs
station,
there.
that's fine. I can deal with that because it's not like right in my ears. But if I go to the gym with a pair of headphones, it's too distracting. I can't concentrate on lifting weights.
But you don't find the music that they have in the background and all the noise and the people grunting and I find that distracting.
Actually, no, not really, because to me it's just like the ambient noise, and I don't know. That's the nature of the environment.
How your mind and your
like if my earphones go out, I have to go home.
Oh, I forgot mine the other day when I went to the gym, and I was the most upset human being. I was like, God damn it, and I don't have time to go back home, and I was just like so mad. But like if you get in your car and you're actively listening to music, what do you listen to?
So again, since it is an active process, I'm like searching for new music. So I am often looking for maybe somebody will recommend that I listen to a certain DJ, or there's a DJ that I've recently enjoyed a live set, and so I go to their SoundCloud and I see what they have. And that's where I get a lot of the music that I use is by listening to DJs that I've enjoyed or that other people enjoy.
I appreciate your sets because there's always a decent amount of lyrics in them, which I'm here for.
Yeah, I think it's so much fun to sing along to a great song.
It really is. I mean, and it's fine if it's not the whole song. I don't even care. Just give me something,
a little phrase at least, not just that one word over and over. Because sometimes you get that. You think they're gonna go up, and it's just like that one where you're like, damn it, you're just teasing me.
They're just building up the beat.
Right, you're teasing me for 10 minutes.
Which can be fun, but no, I like some lyrics.
Me too.
But one DJ that I can reliably count on is Twisted D. And she's a DJ who's been in the circuit scene for many years. She lives in Florida and plays a lot on the East Coast, but she's been in California a few times here and there. She played at Reload, I remember, right before the pandemic. And I think she also has a residency at Chill Bar out in Palm Springs.
Okay.
But she's very versatile. She plays a great range of stuff. She's just got like every set that she plays, I'm into it. And she has a weekly, actually she has maybe a couple of weekly Twitch, I don't know what you call them, podcasts or performances. She does one every Thursday morning, and I listen to it on my way to work. And she's always playing these just interesting varieties of music. It'll be like really down-tempo stuff, as well as some pop stuff. She'll play, like last week she did 80s for a while. Sometimes she'll bring in some circuit stuff, some house stuff. It's just like a great, fun variety. And I love listening to her.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So what next for you?
Yeah.
What's coming up?
Yeah.
Well, right now, the holiday season's a little slow for me right now. I'm going to be taking some time to visit family, a week for Thanksgiving, a couple weeks for Christmas. I am part of a group of people here in LA who started a beach party fundraiser called Love LA. We had our first event this past summer in June, and we raised money for Queens of the Castro, which provides scholarships to queer youth in California.
That's nice.
And we have kind of a grand vision of becoming the West Coast Winter Party, because we accomplished the rare feat of getting a permit to have an event on the beach, on Will Rogers Beach.
Did we go to that? When was that?
That was in June.
Remember we went to that one party?
I know what you're talking about, but
was it not that?
I don't remember when it was.
Anyways.
So we'll be doing that again, June of 2022. So that'll be coming up. That'll be coming up. I'm one of their residents, so I'll be performing then. But otherwise, I'm open. I'm available.
Nice.
That's awesome, though.
And but one thing that I have started, did I mention on the podcast that I started taking music production classes?
Yeah.
So that was kind of that was a long time coming. When I first started DJing, I really was focusing on, expanding my library, learning how to mix.
Yeah.
And some people told me like, girl, you'll get places faster if you produce music. And at the time I thought, well, I want to be a good DJ first. And after a lot of kind of soul searching and just time going by, I realized that there is something in me that wants to come out, something original. But
yeah, that's great.
When I tell you that I am technologically challenged, it is like a severe impairment.
But you can learn if you can learn another language.
Yeah,
you can
true.
get
So
your.
I've learned 3 instruments, 4 languages, but to put me in front of a computer program with all those buttons and like all those
It's just a learning.
lines and
It's a
squiggly
learning
lines and
Yeah.
colors. What is this? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So
It's a learning curve. Well, you know what? Get it together and I'll let you produce my first single. But I'm gonna you're gonna have to have it together because
You learn those squiggly lines,
right?
bitch.
You gotta learn those squiggly lines and stuff because like it's gonna have to be like on and popping. So
I said to myself, I need structure. I need someone to tell me where to be, when to be there, and I will show up and I will learn.
that's
But if left to my own devices, like I did over the summer, I kind of decided back in May, I was like, okay, I think production is something that I want to do. And now here we're in November, 6 months later, and I've watched like 1 YouTube tutorial.
good. I mean, honestly though, as a DJ, that's a good tool to have in your bag. Like production, it's a really good tool. You never know, you can produce the right song, something, and it could, all you need is that one.
I agree. And I look at it as like, at least I should have it as a tool in my toolbox.
Of
If there's a
course.
song that I really like I have a few songs that I just really jammed out to when I was a kid that I haven't heard a remix of in the circuit style or even in a house style, that I was like, let me try to like take on these songs. Let me see if I can make a remix.
All you need is a good beat. Stephen and I were talking about this. We were in the shoe store the other day,
We're writing
and
songs.
this song comes on, and it's like a rap song, I guess.
It's like,
And it was just like,
I'm bored in the house,
and
in the
I'm
house,
bored
in
in
the
the house, and I'm in the house bored. I'm bored in the house, and I'm in the house. Okay, but it was like the stupidest lyrics,
right, dumb.
But like the beat were like kind of
Right.
like, I'm like, this is the dumbest song, but all you need to do is put a beat behind it that people want to dance to,
It's
and like,
true.
and it's a little bit catchy,
It's
and
true.
like, so
I mean,
if
not
you can
every-
make some music and produce,
Right.
like,
'Cause not everybody's going to write like Adele or Mariah Carey. So sometimes it could be like a third grader, but you got the right song, like beat behind it, and you're good to go, Well, good luck with the production. You're going to have to keep us informed and let us know how it goes. And
Thank you very much.
And we will work on my single.
Okay.
I'm going to start writing it. I will start writing it. So,
Okay, good start.
Because Adam and I, we said we're going to write songs because I literally think you can write a song about anything.
You can.
Like anything at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyways, y'all think I'm joking, but it's coming.
Oh man, well I guess that takes us into our last segment. Ma'am, what do you think?
All right, I got the card. So I just actually think that this is kind of funny, well, could be. So, ma'am, what do you think about dating someone because they have money?
All right, this goes to you first
Yeah.
because you're the
Ooh.
guest.
What do I think about it?
Would you do it? What do you think about it?
Have you done it?
Have you
I mean, I'm no judgment.
Right.
Just a question.
Gosh, it all depends, right? If you have a connection with somebody who has a lot of money, sure, why not?
Mhm.
I don't think that's what this question is.
Now,
If would you date them because they
Simply
had
be-
money?
no,
No,
I
yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah. I'm on the same page there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say set the scene. Where am I in my life? Am I like about to go on unemployment? Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, theoretically, no. But you see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in LA.
Right. That's what I'm saying. In the city that we live,
There's a lot of
gosh,
sugar daddies.
There are. But at the same time, too, it's like I work hard for my money, so I want to spend it on me.
Yeah, I couldn't be like dependent on somebody else and just like be okay with that and not have like actual feelings involved, you know? Like if that was the only reason I was with them, I'd be like, no, I want to do that. I'd do this myself. Like,
because I think some people think they'd be okay with it, but then in the actual reality of the situation, you probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're choosing somebody because they have money, they're choosing you for like an equivalently messed up reason.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah.
So you're going to have a toxic relationship, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
But how much money you were talking?
Like, who is this person?
Maybe we should clarify the expectation.
Right? I'm like, how much money you were talking?
What is the nature of this relationship? What is expected of me?
Oh, my God.
Well,
I just thought that was a fun question.
yeah. Well, that's how we feel about that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.
DJ Musculoca.
Now you know the history of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a joy. So, but where can people follow you or find you?
So I am on
Stalk you.
Instagram, Musculoca247. I probably say it like I should say it, Musculoca 24/7.
Yes.
That sounds much better. Yeah.
Like, is that an area code?
That sounds much better.
Yeah, Musculoca 24/7 on Instagram, and SoundCloud /DJ Musculoca. Those are the best places to follow me. I try to put up one mix per month, and I try to kind of keep it fresh every time. A different style, different sound, different vibe, just to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll put that on our Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Put
you.
that on our handle. Obviously, follow us at Adam and Steve Podcast, or you can follow me at Adman2005
And
or
me
Steven.
at Green Eye Steve.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. As usual, remember that God made Adam and Eve, but he also made
Adam and Steve.
any problems?
Pray about
it.